In every esport, there are those truly sick superstars, whose inhuman achievements everyone not only admires, but every once in a while seeks to imitate. You've probably found yourself chilling below B apps, op in hand, thinking to yourself, I'm gonna be cold zero real quick.
Whoa, that's a cold zero jump shot. That's literally this.
Or maybe you're a hotshot who knows the Daigo Parry so well that you can recreate it without even looking at the screen. But in the world of Rainbow Six Siege, there is one warrior whose worship has walloped the rest. A truly cracked killer who went from dumpstering plebs online to winning major esports titles. Of course, I'm talking about the ever-impersonated Jason Beaulo Doty. A living, breathing aimbot whose twitchy, lean-intensive playstyle hasn't just become the envy of Siegers everywhere, but for many, the end goal.
Got one downstairs. I got one outside.
Thanks, 5v3.
Go in, he's done. Wow.
But as much as Beaulo's absurd ability to frag has created excitement around Siege and elevated the skill ceiling of the game, it's also created a bit of a problem. You see, by sheer accident, he's inspired just about every G-fueled Zoomer with an R4C and a Prime subscription to play just like him. Even when they can't.
4 years later, 19 pro player playing the game, you know, how it should be against people that were like, it's basically like the 14-year-old Bolos I'm playing against, 15-year-old Bolos. I'm like, wow, this fucking sucks.
So how did Beaulo create this cult of lean spamming clones? How has his playstyle kind of thrown Siege into an identity crisis? And long term, will it hurt or help the game?
Oh my god, that f***ing mirror's open. What the f***? Who opened this mirror?
Okay, so if you are unfamiliar with my boy Beaulo, then, well, you've clearly never watched any of our Siege content, because this little ray of sunshine rakes in the views for us. He's a wildly talented YouTuber turned world-class competitor who spent years making a name for himself by embarrassing Siege's sweatiest tryhards.
Why don't they room?
5 seconds. Mission success.
Talent.
Op 4 mission successful.
That's content.
And in 2019, after overcoming criticism, cheating allegations, and a crazy amount of pressure, he became everything that he, his fans, and the community at large hoped he would. A successful pro player.
They know that these guys are going to be extended into kitchen. I think TSM might overextend through office, and out of nowhere, Beaulo's just in the site. What is going on? How is he even able to enter? Now he's got control. Hopefully, the bomb is being planted out of nowhere. TSM making an aggressive rush and a rush plant. This might work out for TSM.
Sexy King able to take down 2 there, but a trade out from Beaulo. Now we stand at a 3v3 in the post plant scenario. Another one rotating down, but Pauly will get one. Beaulo with 3 on the round now, looking for more. It's down to the 2v2. Sexy Cake and PSK collapsing from the blue bar in the kitchen area, trying to bring in some yokai drones. Drones on the attacking side being sent out as well. Beaulo not spotting the yokai, coming closer and closer as the Jaws music amplifies. But now in the hallway, that's 4 for Beaulo. Will he get the ace, turning the corner?
Give it to him!
Beaulo!
Let's go!
Give him the ace, put it in the montage. TSM up 2-0.
But we're not here to talk about Beaulo's incredible rise to the top. We are here to talk about his playstyle and the legion of feral fanboys who've basically started a religion around it. You see, what made Beaulo such a viral sensation to begin with were his otherworldly mechanics. Now, for those who've never had the pleasure of watching him play, it's sort of like the Aurora Borealis, or watching an Ashmane destroy a single piece of utility. You just won't believe it until you see it.
That's diffuser.
Op 4 operators eliminated. Mission successful.
I wanted that drone.
That is a high quality stream YouTube clip. Purple bar. There's another one there. Montage, hold on.
Chance to get a clip.
And then usually tweets saying,
For a game that was slow, methodical, and utility-oriented, Beaulo was an anomaly. A bloodthirsty berserker who went burr in a way that nobody really had before.
Who threw a flash?
oh my god.
White
Oh. In bathroom. Oh my god, Beaulo.
What the
I was young at the time, so I didn't have a huge attention span to, you know, do the whole teamwork stuff. I kind of just ran in. I was used to playing Call of Duty. Ran in, just kind of flick all over the place, see if I can get a, you know, a 1-for-1, maybe a 2-for-1, and then I was dead and I was happy.
But of all the things that encompassed Beaulo's exhilarating artistry, none were as fabled and frustrating as the so-called Beaulo lean.
The whole Beaulo lean kind of happened pretty organically. If you even look through like my early montages, very slow, really just like rough, like my crossers placement's not good, the leaning's not good. And then once you get deeper and deeper, you start to see it kind of come together, like the really fast, doing like 50 leans in like 2 seconds, something like that. But I didn't just sit there and like practice it. I just kind of, you know, I mean, I was, you know, 15, 16. I just wanted to peak as fast as possible.
10 seconds to go.
I broke this shit.
Operator remaining.
And it was that quick, corner-popping pornography that really started to catch the attention of the community. From seasoned professionals to filthy casuals.
What? What killed me? Blackbeard. Oh, he was in that side hatch. I didn't even see him.
What
Fuck,
the
man.
f? I got a headshot.
One friendly
It's like I know where he has to be.
He's f***ing hacking, dude.
The Beaulo peak had cemented itself as the badass yet blood-boiling bane of siegers everywhere. Sure, it was skillful and required insane amounts of practice to perfect, but due to things like netcode, server refresh rate, and ping, it was basically uncounterable.
Definitely thinking like the, I guess, prime time quick peeking Beaulo lean era. Along with the servers, you would get ghosted a lot. Like you would see somebody quick peek you and then they're already gone and then you're dead. I could see how frustrating it would be being on the opposing end.
And it wasn't long before Beaulo started to catch the attention of Ubisoft.
You don't even have to explain to me exactly the way Beaulo play, and we know that's a thing. We're very well aware. I'm not personally good enough to face this player 24/7. Like I'm plat, and it's not enough, to be honest, to face the most extreme cases on a daily basis. I do see some of them, and like even people from lower rank try to do it. It's just not as good. And it is definitely something we have on our radar.
Beaulo hadn't just elevated Siege's skill ceiling, he'd pushed the game to its very limits. And whether inadvertently or not, he was punished for it in the spring of 2018, when Ubisoft sneakily hotfixed lean spamming.
Come on, why you gotta do that to me? It's just like... Dude, they just like chopped my legs off.
It kind of, you know, feel like I was being targeted. It was kind of like this monster child I created. And it was just kind of, you know, spawning in the thousands and thousands. It was just taking over the game, like the Plat 2 range with like all the ashes and everything. So I think it was kind of more of like a collective effort from the dev team just to, you know, kind of clean up the game a little bit. Again, just kind of make the way Siege is meant to be played in their eyes.
Now, unfortunately for Ubisoft, their attempt at squashing this mechanic didn't quite go to plan. What's more, Beaulo was simply too nutty to nerf.
If you remain in this zone, you will be spotted.
That's a Habana and a
Boom shakalaka!
You will be detected if you remain in this zone.
Aha, I am Doc. There's a glass out there still. That is a glass. He's behind that Tito.
He
infiltrated their spawn and get the kill.
For Beaulo!
Like I kind of noticed that like mechanically, like all like a bunch of pro league players at the time just, you know, weren't there. Obviously they are now, but like I definitely was kind of, you know, maximizing my mechanical ability rather than, you know, trying to play the game how it was meant to be played.
Within no time, Beaulo's breakneck, balls-to-the-wall playstyle had become the go-to rhythm of basically every kid to come within a country mile of a ranked server. From your everyday matchmaking scrub...
Let me actually... No, I want to become Beaulo.
...to some truly godly successors.
Apparently not. Zoom!
Siege's player base was showing little interest in emulating actual world champions, since those dudes played actual Siege. Instead, they saw this teenager tearing up sites in seconds flat and thought, that's what I want to do.
I want to go to there.
Well, I do too.
Here's the thing though, that style of Siege isn't really sustainable outside of matchmaking. Even for an aim god like Beaulo.
I think like for all like the clones, like even like the content creator clones, I guess you would like, you know, replicate the play style that you were talking about. I think it's possible for, you know, a lot of them to go pro. It's just like, it's really hard. It's unbelievable how much you have to discipline yourself from going from ranked to comp.
And it's all up to Beaulo in a 1v2. Rampy very low, and Beaulo appears to be a little bit lost with 30 seconds left. Volt's at full HP, three stim pistols, and Bolo's been felled by a goo mine, and as he tries to withstand, he'll find another.
When I first joined the team, I was definitely, you know, that kind of ranked play style. I overpeaked a lot of things. I kind of just jumped the gun on a lot of stuff.
And I'm just baffled that Space Station didn't say, hey, check it, if nothing else.
Oh, ho, ho. Fultz picking up his second kill of this game as down goes Beaulo.
The reality is that even the inimitable Beaulo had to curb his hyperactive playstyle in order to succeed at the highest level of play. And fortunately for him, that's exactly what he did.
So they do have the ability to clutch us out. Oh, and that guy's down. Beaulo finds two, and he's gonna be a 1v2 now.
In addition to being one of Siege's most highly rated pros, he's already won a LAN, a major, and come within breathing distance of taking home the big one. There's no denying that he's found success on the world stage, but if he hadn't learned to adjust, he might not have.
Even though like top 3, I'm not happy with that. Top 3, I want to, you know, I want to be the top 1, the one. But I do feel pretty proud of myself on how far I've come, because I could have not changed, and we could have, you know, gotten relegated, and I would have been back to streaming and YouTube full time, and that would have been the end of TSM Beaulo.
Because in spite of what all these snotty Ash spammers with their Beaulo charms, amethyst skins, and purple attachments would have you believe, Beaulo leans aren't the be-all and end-all of Rainbow Six, even if they do make you feel like a badass.
And you have about a half hour from now until the matchup starts, so you can go and you can...
Yeah. Get the LPMs up.
Yeah, get that in.
Look, no one would deny that Beaulo flicks are swanky as hell. And God knows, they're capable of stopping even the gnarliest of gunners dead in their tracks. But you know what's even better at doing that? Reinforcing a f***ing wall.
One books, one ambassador.
Peeking books.
I missed a spy, guys. I missed a spy.
Peeking books very aggressive.
I missed a spy.
This guy can't hop on it. Why is he just not hop on the wall?
What? Yeah, you're good now. I tried. I tried my best.
No, you stick to shoot.
And sure, is it true that the game has become a little too utility-oriented as of late? Undeniably. But Siege isn't CSGO. Gunning isn't everything, and you shouldn't be able to weasel your way out of having a brain simply because the game isn't capable of keeping up with how fast you're spamming yourself in and out of cover. At some point, that kind of thing needs to be stifled, and while they have taken steps towards doing that, the issue remains a contentious one, even at Ubisoft.
Because it's more something like we see, something that we discuss, something we argue about, and that we might not all agree with. And so I can't really give you a definitive answer. Some people think it's like a very high skill ceiling that you need to master and it's cool. Other things like the enjoyment depth for the game. I understand both points of view. And we will find out exactly where we stand. It's too long term and it's too much about an ongoing conversation more than a definitive direction that we have.
Look, in spite of all the things that separate Siege from a traditional shooter, it remains just that, a shooter. The importance of gunplay can't be overstated in any FPS. The difference with Siege is that for a long time, that importance went understated. And in many ways, it wasn't until Beaulo came along and started terrorizing people that it became apparent just how far gunning alone could get you.
I definitely think that, you know, your mechanical skill and your, I guess, gun skill overall is crucial, because even though right now the utility meta that we're in is just heavily soaked in just, you know, get rid of this, get rid of that, last 20 seconds is when you finally see action. You know, those 20 seconds, you're gonna want to hit your shots.
There's a reason we all fell in love with Beaulo to begin with, and frustrating as the style he's trademarked has become, doing away with it entirely wouldn't just suck, it would destroy the very soul of Siege.
You try clearing f***ing Beaulo's shield when he's got 3 ADSs and 5 with my magnets, and you try throwing those flashbangs while he's like this, and he doesn't f***ing miss, bro. He does not f***ing miss.
Because ultimately, that's what makes Siege such an engaging esport. The chaos and the uncertainty. Is it a MOBA? Sure. A shooter? Most definitely. Hell, it's even a fighting game from time to time.
Boom, baby!
Truly, there is no one way to play Rainbow Six. You can be whoever you want and clap people however you please. And Beaulo was a testament to that. So, look, if you want to wear out your Q&E buttons, go for it. Really. Just know that you won't be bad if you don't. Play the game your way, because you want to. That's what keeps it evolving. That's what keeps it fun.
I guess my message to all the like the Beaulo lean, you know, copycats and all the quick peek in Ash Zoe players, I mean, just do whatever you want. I don't really care. Just have fun with the game. It is a game at the end of the day. It sucks that I have to play my 15-year-old self in that whenever I stream, but it's just, I guess that's just how it goes. The monster child is in full force.
Connector tag, one behind bomb, and then one back.
Nothing dead. Bomb dead. Last guy con.
Oh!
Cult of lean spamming clones. How is his... Yeah, this little bastard just rakes in the views for us. I wanted to write this line because I knew that there was going to be some in the comments who was just like, you know, it's like with Olaf boost, it's like, oh, Score Esports need view quota this month, like make Beaulo videos. So I was just like, f it, it's off me. Let's just lean into it. Like, let's just, yeah.